The sun hangs high over London, casting a warm glow across the honey-colored stones of Buckingham Palace. The air buzzes with the energy of a summer afternoon. Tourists chatter in a dozen languages. Cameras flash, and the Union Jack snaps proudly in the breeze. The changing of the guard is moments away, a ritual of precision that draws thousands to the palace gates. Vendors hawk miniature flags, children tug at their parents' sleeves, and the scent of roasted chestnuts drifts through the crowd. But today, this historic stage is about to witness a clash no one could have predicted, a moment that will ripple across the world. At the center of it all stands Victor Kane, a five-time MMA world champion. His physique, a masterpiece of muscle and menace. At 22, Kane is a legend. His name synonymous with knockouts and glory. His arms, inked with tattoos of skulls and flames, ripple as he strides through the crowd. His entourage trailing behind publicists, trainers, and a handful of starstruck fans. Kane thrives on spectacle, his swagger honed by years in the spotlight. Today, he's in London for a promotional tour. His latest fight, plastered on billboards across the city. But when he spots the royal guards standing like statues in their scarlet tunics and towering bearskin hats, a reckless idea sparks. Let's have some fun, he tells his crew, his grin sharp as a blade. In his mind, the guard is a prop, a chance for a viral stunt to cement his dominance. Kane doesn't know the man he's about to challenge. Staff Sergeant Alistair Reed is no mere performer beneath the ceremonial uniform. Beats the heart of a warrior forged in the fires of war. Reed has served in Afghanistan and Syria, navigating dust-choked villages and bomb-scarred streets where every second was a gamble with death. He's defused IEDs under sniper fire, lit patrols through insurgent strongholds, and carried a wounded comrade 3 miles to safety. His scars tell stories of survival, his muscles honed by years of relentless discipline. Now, as a royal guard, he serves in a different way. His role a nod to tradition, but no less demanding. To the tourist snapping photos, he's a symbol of the crown. To those who know him, he's a soldier, a real one. The crowd parts as Kane steps forward, his presence commanding. Tourists whisper, recognizing him from fight posters and TV. His entourage eggs him on. Phones already recording, eager for a moment that will light up social media. Reed stands at his post, his face impassive, his eyes fixed on the horizon. His rifle is held at precisely the correct angle, his posture a testament to months of grueling training. To him, the crowd is a blur, his focus absolute. But when Kane plants himself a few feet away, taunting, "Let's see if you can take a hit, soldier boy," Reed's senses sharpen. He knows this isn't a drill, but years of training keep him steady, his body a coiled spring beneath the scarlet tunic. Kane's kick is a thing of beauty, a high arc of power and precision, aimed to graze just enough to make a point. He expects Reed to flinch, to stumble, to give the crowd a show. The blow lands with a sickening thud, striking Reed's cheek. The guard's bearskin hat soars into the air, spinning like a dark omen against the London sky. Gasps ripple through the crowd, some shouting in protest, others frozen in disbelief. A thin line of blood traces down Reed's temple, staining the pristine collar of his tunic. Phones capture every second, the moment already racing toward virality. Kane smirks, expecting collapse, chaos, retreat. He's miscalculated. Reed doesn't fall. His head tilts slightly, absorbing the impact, and his eyes cold, unyielding, like twin blades of steel lock onto Kane with a focus that could pierce armor. The crowd holds its breath, the air thick with tension. Kane, sensing the shift, shifts his stance, his confidence wavering. He throws a jab, fast and precise. But Reed moves faster, with the instincts of a man who's fought for his life. He sidesteps, seizes Kane's arm, and twists it in a blur of motion. Before the champion can react, Reed's knee drives into his midsection, folding him like paper. A final. Fluid maneuver sends Kane crashing to the ground, his wrists pinned, his face pressed against the cold cobblestones of the palace forecourt. Stay down. This ends now. Reed's voice is a low growl, not of anger, but of command, a battlefield order that brooks no defiance. The crowd erupts, a mix of cheers and shocked murmurs as phones capture the champion's fall. Kane, the untouchable king of the cage. Lee's humbled, his breath ragged, his ego shattered. Reed rises, his uniform bloodied, but his posture unbroken, his gaze steady. The bearskin hat lies a few feet away, a silent witness to the clash. Tourists press closer, some clapping, others shaking their heads, all grappling with the surreal spectacle they've just witnessed. Kane's life has been a relentless climb. Born in a rough Chicago neighborhood, he fought his way out of poverty, his fists his ticket to a better life. By Pinch, he was a rising star in mixed martial arts. His knockouts, legendary. His charisma, magnetic. 5 world titles followed, each one cementing his mythos. But with fame came arrogance, a belief that he was untouchable, that the rules of the world bent to his will. In the octagon, he was a god. Eyes, fights, spectacles of raw power. His victories celebrated with roaring crowds and flashing lights. He thrived on the adrenaline, the worship, the sense of invincibility. Today, he saw the guard as a challenge, a chance to prove his dominance to a new audience. He didn't expect to meet a force greater than his own. Reed's story is one of quiet resilience. Born in a small Scottish village, the son of a fisherman and a schoolteacher, he joined the British Army at 18, driven by a sense of duty that ran deeper than words. His service took him to the world's darkest corners, Kandahar's sun-scorched hills, Aleppo's rubble-strewn streets. He's faced insurgents in close-quarters combat, navigated minefields under cover of darkness, and held the line when hope seemed lost. Every mission left its mark, a scar above his eye, a limp he hides on cold mornings, a weight in his heart for the men he couldn't save. Now, as a royal guard, he serves in a different way, his ceremonial role a bridge between the past and the present. But the soldier within him never sleeps, his instincts sharp, his discipline ironclad. The moment of the kick replays in the minds of the crowd, a flashpoint that shifts the narrative. Kane's entourage, stunned into silence, scrambles to help him up. But Reed's presence looms large, a silent warning to stay back. 2 police officers push through the crowd, their radios crackling, but Reed waves them off with a subtle nod. This isn't their fight, it's his. And it's over. Kane struggles to his knees, his face a mask of disbelief. The man who's never been knocked out, who's faced the world's toughest fighters, has been brought low by a soldier who fights not for glory, but for duty. The crowd is a kaleidoscope of reactions. A group of American tourists, their baseball caps tilted back, cheer for Reed, chanting "Go, soldier." A British family, their children wide-eyed, whisper about the guard's bravery. An elderly woman, her scarf fluttering in the breeze, clasps her hands, murmuring a prayer for peace. A young man, his phone still recording, uploads the video with a caption: MMA champ versus Royal Guard, guess who wins? Within minutes, the clip is trending, shared across continents, a testament to the power of a single, unexpected moment. Reed returns to his post, retrieving his hat with a calm that belies the chaos. He adjusts it, wipes the blood from his cheek, and resumes his stance, as if nothing has happened. But something has shifted. The crowd sees him differently now, not as a statue, but as a man, a warrior whose strength lies not in showmanship, but in the quiet resolve that holds fast under pressure. Kane, helped to his feet by his team, limps away, his head bowed, his bravado extinguished. The palace forecourt settles back into its rhythm, the ceremony resuming. But the echo of that clash lingers, a story already weaving itself into legend. In the cage, Victor Kane was a king. His fights were choreographed dramas, his victories scripted for maximum impact. He built a career on the belief that strength is measured in knockouts, in titles, in the roar of the crowd. But here, in the real world, outside the artificial confines of the ring, his strength falters. The man he challenged isn't swayed by fame or intimidated by muscle. Alistair Reed is a soldier. Tempered by trials, Kane can't imagine nights spent under mortar fire, days carrying wounded comrades through hell, moments where discipline meant the difference between life and death. This isn't about spectacle. It's about resilience, about the quiet, unyielding strength that doesn't need a spotlight to shine. Kane's fall is more than a physical defeat. It's a reckoning, a moment that forces him to confront the limits of his power. As he's led away, his entourage muttering excuses, he glances back at Reed, a flicker of respect in his eyes. He's learned something today, though he may not admit it yet, that true strength isn't about dominance, but about endurance, about standing tall when the world expects you to break. Reed, bloodied but unbowed, embodies that truth. A soldier whose courage was forged in the shadows, whose discipline is his armor, whose heart beats for something greater than himself. The aftermath unfolds swiftly. By evening, the video is everywhere. News channels, social media, sports forums. Commentators debate the ethics of Kane's stunt, the bravery of Reed's response. Fans of MMA are divided, some defending their champion, others awed by the guard's composure. In bars and living rooms, people recount the story, embellishing it with each telling. Reed's name becomes a quiet legend, a symbol of the unsung heroes who walk among us. Kane, meanwhile, issues a statement, a half-hearted apology buried in excuses. But the damage is done. His brand, built on invincibility, takes a hit, and whispers of a comeback begin to circulate. For Reed, there are no headlines, no press conferences. He returns to the barracks, his uniform cleaned, his wounds bandaged. His comrades greet him with nods of respect, their silence louder than words. His commanding officer, Captain Edward Langley, summons him for a brief meeting. "You handled it well, Sergeant," Langley says, his tone gruff but approving. "But let's not make a habit of brawling with celebrities." Reed nods, a faint smile tugging at his lips. He knows the rules, knows the cost of stepping out of line, but he also knows he did what was right not for glory, but for the honor of his post, his unit, his country. In the days that follow, Reed's life resumes its quiet rhythm. He stands guard, trains with his squad, writes letters to his family in Scotland. But the moment at the palace lingers, a memory that sharpens his resolve. He thinks of the men he served with, the ones who didn't come home, and feels a renewed sense of purpose. His role, ceremonial though it may be, is a link to their sacrifice, a reminder that strength is not just in the fight, but in the standing, the enduring, the carrying on. Kane, back in his training gym in Las Vegas, grapples with the fallout. The loss stings, not because of the physical pain, but because it exposed the truth he's long avoided, that his strength, for all its brilliance, is fleeting, dependent on the stage, the crowd, the rules of the game. He spends hours watching the video, studying Reed's movements, his calm, his control. For the first time, Kane questions his path, wonders if there's more to strength than what he's chased. He doesn't contact Reed, no apology, no rematch. But he carries the lesson, a seed planted in the wreckage of his pride. The story of the kick and the fall becomes a modern parable, a tale of hubris and humility, of flesh versus fortitude. It resonates because it's universal. A reminder that the world is bigger than any one man's ego, that true power lies not in the loudest voice, but in the steadiest heart. It's a story of two men, one who sought to dominate, and one who simply stood his ground. And in that contrast, we see the measure of a warrior. Strength comes in many forms. There's the kind that dazzles, that fills arenas and lights up headlines. The kind Victor Kane chased his whole life. And then there's the kind that endures, that stands firm in the face of chaos, that carries on when no one is watching. Alistair Reed embodies that strength, a soldier whose courage was forged in the shadows, whose discipline is his armor, whose heart beats for duty. What kind of strength do you choose? The fleeting glory of applause, or the quiet power that holds fast through the storm? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us what makes a true warrior in your eyes. If this story fired you up, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Join us for more real-life tales of grit, honor, and the battles that shape us every single day.